Hi class, today's lesson is lesson 7-7. It's about percent. So we're going to start in on percents here in this lesson. In fact, our purpose today is to write percents as decimals and fractions. Let's go ahead and take a look at our vocabulary. First of all, the word percent. Percent means the ratio that compares a number to 100. For instance, 12%, and this is the percent sign right here. I should make that a little longer. 12% actually means 12 to 100, or 12 out of 100. Let's look at an illustration. This is a hundredths grid, and what we're going to do here is we're going to demonstrate what 8% is. 8% out of this hundredths grid is simply 8 of these blocks filled in out of 100. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is 8%. 8 of those squares in the hundredths grid are filled in. Now, what about 80%? 80% means that we have 80 out of 100 of these squares filled in. So let me show you what that looks like. There's 1, 2, 3, that's 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. You can see with 80%, most of the hundredths grid is filled in. That's a model for percents. Now, don't worry about copying that, of course. Next, we have an example. Here's where we get down and dirty. It says write 40% as a fraction in simplest form. So what we're going to do is we're going to write 40%. Well, what's that equivalent to? Well, 40% is equivalent to 40 out of 100. That's the ratio, 40 hundredths. So now we say that as 40 hundredths, and we're going to go ahead and simplify that. What can we do to simplify that? Well, we can divide the top and bottom by 20 over 20. And then what we get here, simply 40 divided by 20 is 2. 100 divided by 20 is 5. It's 2/5 is our answer. Simplest form. Next. It says write 24% as a decimal this time. Not as a fraction, but as a decimal. It's the same process, essentially. You're going to write down 24%. And we know that's a ratio out of 100, so that's 24 out of 100. Now we would say that, fractionally speaking, as 24 hundredths. So how do we write 24 hundredths as a decimal? Well, it's the same way in which we say it, 24 hundredths. 2 place values to the right of the decimal. That's my answer. Here's your problem. It says explain how to write a percent as a fraction. You're going to go ahead and go back in the video and review that, and in your own words explain step by step how you would write a percent as a fraction. You can use an example. If you wanted to, use the example 15% and turn that into a fraction. And then the second part of this is to write 100% as a decimal and a fraction. All right, we will see you in class.